Welcome back to the D&D podcast. Now we're going to talk about Dak Prescott. He is reportedly wanting $38 million. This would make him the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Should he be franchise tagged? Is he worth this kind of money to be the second most in the NFL behind Patrick Mahomes?
And before we talk about that, I have a correction from earlier. It was real dumb of me. I said when he came to get 21 and 7 picks, that was a bull lie. He only has 16 touchdowns and 8 picks for the whole year.
This is Mitch Trubisky.
Yes, this is Mitch Trubisky. I gave him too much credit. Now we're going into the Dak Prescott.
Too much credit.
Dak Prescott topic. Is he worth $38 million?
$38 million a year.
Me, I'm going to start first because I'm a Cowboys fan.
Lead 'em boys.
Honestly, I think he is. And I say this, because look at this year. How did the offense do without Dak Prescott?
Andy Dalton?
Good. They went to almost dead last in offense wise. But Dak at least had these jokers in I think they were weren't they the top offense in the league, or I think they're at least top 10.
He was throwing for that many yards. I remember that conversation. He was throwing for an insane amount of yards at the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we weren't winning, but he was the only thing keeping those games close. You had a close game against the Browns, the close game against Seattle.
You started off with a heavier schedule too.
Yeah, so
I don't think he's worth 38.
I think
he's not worth.
He's not worth 38.
So how much is Deshaun getting paid each year?
Deshaun, did you seriously just bring up Deshaun?
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying he should get paid as much as.
You're saying he should get paid more than Watson.
He should get paid more than Watson because Watson.
Oh my!
I don't know. Watson.
Boy.
All right, so Watson this last year. So look, regardless, Dak Prescott adds a lot of value to the Cowboys. We all agree on that. He got a major injury this year. That's hard to justify an extension after that. Watson this past year with the bottom feeder Texans, horrible Texans, 4,823 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
With no D-Hop.
No
Amari.
Will Fuller.
No Zeke. No. Will Fuller? Really? You mean the guy that's a number 2 on arguably?
Who's suspended for PEDs?
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. Anyways.
Okay. Yes, but it's different for QBs.
They're worth a lot. Yes. Yeah, QBs and pass rushers.
It's like the QB market is just a different market in general. Running backs, they actually get paid on how good they are. QBs get paid based on the value they bring to the team. They don't get paid, they're better than this person. They get paid on how much value they bring to their team.
And that's worth a lot in the locker room.
That's why when every QB gets paid, okay, I'm just gonna say it's just an example. So Aaron Rodgers gets paid $31 million. Even though then let's say Matt Ryan gets paid $32 million. They're not saying Aaron Rodgers is better than. They're not saying Matt Ryan is better than Aaron Rodgers because everyone knows that's not true. But the value the value he brings to his team is substantial because the QB is only one QB on the field at a time. It's not like receivers you have 3 or 4 at a time. It's only one. So
I agree with that.
I heard that the Dak thing they were almost settled on $35 million. But it came down to they wanted him for 5 years, and he only wanted 4. I heard that they was getting close.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you won't give him that's actually better for the team.
To only do 4?
Yeah.
The problem is then they can lock in their quarterback for the foreseeable future for longer. But
what's a year going to do? You can always get an extension.
So once again, he was going to go for $35 million. Mm-hmm. He gets a major ankle injury, and now his price is $38 million.
No, 30,
I don't see that jump. I don't see the extra jump.
Look what the offense did. The offense wasn't thriving when he was there.
I get that.
He was in MVP talks before he got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Dallas being hurt, he was an MVP. He was with the same level as we were questioning Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen.
It's hard to justify the extra money off of a major injury. Obviously, he's supposed to make a full recovery.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be good. But after a season when you're injured, you look at, you see all the lost value he has and how much the Cowboys struggled without him. But that struggle is not only a reflection of him. That's a reflection of Mike McCarthy, who's an incompetent head coach. That's a reflection of a bad defense where you overpay stars like Demarcus Lawrence, overpaid.
But then again, that can go to show you how good of a QB Dak Prescott was, because even though, like I said before, while people were in the past were like, "Oh, Dak Prescott's not that good. Oh, Romo's not that good." Look who their head coach was, Jason Garrett. That dude was we kept him for 10 years, and all he gave us was 8-8 seasons. Like honestly, if they had the competent head coaches, Romo could have probably won a Super Bowl with some of the talented teams he was on. Dak Prescott, that last year with that team, there's no way that team shouldn't have at least made the divisional round, like NFC Championship game. No way. We went 9-7 with a stacked team. Come on, like you gotta look at these people, head coaches. Think about it. If Sean McVay was a coach of the Cowboys, imagine how good they would be with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott he has shown you constantly he can overcome incompetent head coaching to at least put you in a position to make the playoffs.
Ask your GM/owner.
Oh, and don't give me
keeps running coaches out just because he disagrees with them. Ask Jimmy Johnson.
Yep, that's why.
How'd Jimmy Johnson feel getting ran out? Successful coach, just gone.
Honestly, like I'm not one of those Cowboys fans. Oh, you're going to win the Super Bowl every single year. I'm a realistic Cowboys fan. We will never win another Super Bowl until Jerry Jones either gives up being a GM or dies. And that's
it's gonna happen. No, honestly, there's no way he gives up the Cowboys. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're still, I don't think they should be still called this, but they're still America's team.
Yeah, they still make the most money out of all the teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But
Dallas Cowgirls, man.
But if you
throwing shots,
Jerry gives man, you just get brought up. You open a new can of worms.
All right. Before Dante goes off, wow.
Before we go on a Jerry Jones rant, back to the question about Dak Prescott. So, I believe he should be a top 5 highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I believe $35 million makes sense. Okay. If he wants 38, I don't know what the Cowboys' cap situation looks like. If they can do 38, sometimes you got to overpay. I don't think it's a great situation, but they do need Dak because there's nowhere else to go. What? So they try and trade for Russell Wilson and let him walk? There's not a whole lot of moves Dallas can make to get an elite quarterback.
What would the franchise tag be this year if they franchise tag him again?
I'm pretty sure it's $34 million.
I know it's insanely high.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not his fault.
I don't think they should if they're going to sign him, they need to do it.
Yeah.
Or you need to accept the fact that they were too successful to have a good enough draft pick to get somebody relevant. Mac Jones would be your best quarterback draft if you're trying to move on. Exactly.
I wouldn't.
Okay, so if we're talking about what are your other options in free agency, you just let them walk.
The MVP.
Yeah. Who?
The MVP.
Oh, the MVP.
Oh my gosh.
Mitch Trubisky.
Trubisky wins a Super Bowl in Dallas.
There's no one else in free agency that can do better than Dak Prescott.
Dak
Prescott's by far the best.
Yeah, you'd have to take it's a trade for Teddy Bridgewater. Take your chance on Alex Smith, guys. Come on.
No.
The Alex Smith. Yeah,
That's
the problem is you guys are.
Prescott's head and shoulders better than anyone they could put up.
You gotta. I think they gotta sign him.
So I
don't think he's worth that.
I don't think he's worth $38 million.
I think he's worth. I'll give him because Watson making $39 a year. He got 4 years, 156.
He's not worth lots of numbers.
You know what?
I'll give him the same salary Watson's getting, but more guaranteed money.
I think he's worth a 35.
If he wants, I think he's worth like 35 too. But if he wants 38, at some point you got to take a look in the mirror and be like, all right, we have a franchise quarterback. That's a luxury to have in the NFL.
Yep. Look at everyone else.
Sometimes you just gotta pay if you can afford to.
Because we pay this is why I say Jerry Jones until he died. Like we won't win another Super Bowl until Jerry Jones dies. This dude signed Demarcus Lawrence. Demarcus Lawrence was doing good until he got his contract. When he got his contract, Demarcus Lawrence hasn't pull it up real quick.
Hasn't been the defensive monster.
Hasn't been that, as Jerry Jones called him, that war daddy as we need him to be.
Demarcus Lawrence, the war daddy.
Daddy. Let's go look at this. So after that year when we made the playoffs, when we got Amari Cooper in that trade, for every year since that in 2019, 5 sacks in 2019. 2020, 6.5 sacks. We paid this dude $100 million to go get 6 and 5 sacks. Come on now. You keep paying dudes like that, and you pay Amari Cooper. This is the first year Amari Cooper has only played good in both home and away games. Amari Cooper usually never shows up in away games. Then we pay Zeke. Okay, you bring up the fact about paying a running back. I think Zeke is worth it.
Don't pay your running back.
But think about it, though. I do think Ezekiel Elliott is worth it because
I think he's worth keeping around. He's not worth piles of money. The problem is how do you back that when you pull 15 starting caliber running backs at every draft?
Well, let's go. The talent level. He's like, I think he's top 5 in talent level in the league.
In the league, yes, I agree.
Give me let's listen for a minute.
Okay.
So in 15 games, he had 979. He would have had 1,000 if he played every single game, and that was behind a trash O-line.
So how many yards did Dave Montgomery have?
I think the only running back you can justify paying a huge contract to right now is Derrick Henry. Has not been hurt.
438.
Absolutely crazy.
David Montgomery only went 438 this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 14 games.
What about like Cam Akers? What about?
But you bring up these people with better O lines than what he had this year. Like if he had a good O line this year, he's getting 1,000 yards easy.
What about Chris Carson?
Okay.
Look up Chris Carson.
Chris Carson had
That would be a
poor
good
year. He was hurt a lot of the year too.
That was true.
He was hurt a lot of the year.
Regardless,
the only
12
one.
and 681.
So you're telling me Zeke? You're telling me that $10 million a year. What's Zeke's contract?
I have the contract.
Overpaid. That's what it is.
Yeah, too much.
Too high. The only running back I could see justified paying is Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He's unique. He's never hurt. He's got a certain skill set that will take the league for many years to come.
No, I don't understand. Like, honestly, I don't see how longer Derrick Henry can last playing the way he does. That physical style of running, but I say he has at least one or 2 more years left of him being this dominant like that.
Oh, he's got 5 or 6.
Nah, man, because
what do you think, DC? How many more years does Derrick Henry have of dominating the NFL on the ground?
How old is he right now? Like late 20s, early 30s, probably. Problem is running backs. I mean, Frank Gore is insanely.
yeah,
Frank Gore is an he's an exception.
I mean, I'll give him
He's
3-4 years. Derrick
26.
Henry's only 26.
Yeah.
3-4 years at least.
Yeah, you can't.
He's running people down till he's 32
Titans are
years
doing good
old.
stuff though.
Don't think
He's running people down till he's 32 years old.
you don't play like that. Like in between the
Ask
tackles.
Marshawn. Ask Marshawn.
Yeah, look
You're
at
not playing
Marshawn
that
Lynch.
life.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
give him 3.
Like I said, at least 2 to 3 more. Like I said,
2 to 3 for sure. At this level, yes.
Yeah.
I think he'll still be good after that, but I think Adrian Peterson was good for a long time too.
But Adrian Peterson was he inside, outside. Derrick Henry is more of a inside.
Marshawn on the Raiders was pretty good. I mean,
He was
kind of.
right.
But that's what I see. Like Derrick Henry's downhill,
yeah.
and he's also bigger and taller. So I mean,
I
running
think
at
he
that
is
level,
faster too.
then he is, and them knees are not going to hold out.
Yeah, man.
But
So the Broncos just franchise tagged Justin Simmons yesterday. The first franchise tag is assigned. It was his second tag.
Mhm.
What other notable tags do you think will be given out this upcoming week? Dak will get tagged.
Dak
He will
gets
not
another
get
franchise tag.
accepted.
There's too much. There's
Yep.
too much going on there for them, and he's got to have another year to see if he comes back from that.
You don't think he'll give him? You think he'll give it to him?
The franchise tag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then next year you can assess how he comes back from the injury. Because what happens when you sign him to his 4-year, $36 million a year, and he comes out and he plays mediocre at best?
Mhm. I agree with that.
Dak is going to be the notable one. Who else is out there? I could, for some off the wall reason. Actually, no, because I think they'll just give him a cheap contract. Your boy Trubisky. But I don't think they want to pay him $39. Well, what is it? What's the tag now for QBs?
It depends.
Because it's based off the highest salary that year.
Yeah.
Isn't Shaq Barrett eligible?
They won't franchise
Chris
tag.
Godwin. I
think Chris Godwin gets
Godwin
him.
will. They won't franchise tag Trubisky because if they're going to franchise anyone, it'd be Allen Robinson. they'd re-sign Trubisky to a cheap prove-it deal, kind of like what Marcus Mariota got, where it's like 2 years, $20 million,
Something like that.
very little guaranteed, all incentive-based.
Problem is if you stick with Trubisky,
You're
your
fired
coach and
tomorrow.
GM are done.
They're gone tomorrow. That's what I'm saying.
Trubisky's not beating Aaron Rodgers.
They're gonna give anything they can to go get Russell Wilson. We've talked about Trubisky a lot. We can move on from that. Other quarterbacks that could end up being dealt. We've got Jimmy Garoppolo. We have Sam
Jimmy G
Darnold.
stays. Jimmy G stays. There's no way. Look at how productive they are when he's on the field
Yeah,
and
that's
healthy.
what I'm about to say. Yeah, like Jimmy G slander is close to Romo slander.
Mhm.
Like how everyone over criticizes Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not a bad QB. It's just like he's not that flashy.
One overthrow. They
Yeah.
start roasting him. Before then, they're like, dude, I can't believe he's got traded away from New England, and it was all this
I
hype
agree.
on we should have stuck with him over Brady.
Nope.
And then he overthrows Emmanuel Sanders in a Super Bowl, and half his team gets hurt, and he's not doing too hot last year, and everyone goes, bro.
He overthrows him on a deep throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest throw to make in football.
I was gonna
a
say,
deep
yeah.
throw.
Mm-hmm. So we're all in agreement. Jimmy G stays.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
don't have another option.
Where does Deshaun Watson go,
Miami,
and
New
when?
York,
And when?
right before.
Because all right,
I
so
think you could
realistically, I think he needs to be gone like tomorrow. They should be actively
They
making
need to,
calls. They need to so they can plan for the draft and move up and do stuff in the draft and free agency.
Right before free agency.
Realistically, I think he holds out in training camp and everything, and he gets traded late summer
To the Panthers.
the Panthers.
I knew you were
That's
going
why
to
I have
say
him
that,
going.
bro. No, there's no way.
The Panthers will send Teddy Bridgewater and 4 firsts.
But you're
For
going to send
Watson.
Teddy Bridgewater, really
They're
Curtis
ex-
Samuel.
They're extremely
The thing is, the
extremely
Bridgewater,
aggressive.
because they don't have the ability to get a pick that high, Bridgewater would be your good bridge quarterback.
He
Yeah,
is
next year.
literally the best bridge quarterback in the
Okay,
NFL.
here-
Everywhere he's been a bridge
Okay,
quarterback.
so if you're Carolina, are you taking a risk of because Justin Fields slander is at a high right now. They're not not everyone's high on Justin Fields. So if Justin Fields falls to 8, supposedly to Carolina, why not take Justin Fields and then
I think you do, and I think that's why they need to move Watson before this draft.
yeah.
I think they need to make that happen. I don't think he'll fall to 8. 'cause
New
there's
York
too
will
many.
commit to their quarterback. Miami will commit to their
There's
quarterback.
too many QB needy teams.
But it's-
I don't think he'll fall to 8. I think someone will trade up in front of him.
But do you
Yeah.
really think the Texans are going to make the right decision?
No,
No.
but they should.
No,
Yeah,
they're going to
but
get
they
underpaid
should.
for him. They're going to trade Watson for a 6th.
Yeah. Trey Watson for a first.
For a
Second.
6th. How
It's
does
gonna
that
happen.
work?
The same way DeAndre
The
Hopkins did.
Texans are a bad organization, but there's no way they're that
No,
bad.
no,
There's
I don't
no
think they're
way
actually
they're
going
that
to.
bad.
But I honestly think he goes to either Miami or New York, whoever pays the most for him.
Okay.
And it'll be a 3-4 first picks plus a starting caliber player, whatever position that may be. I could see a Sam Darnold and the number 2 pick plus following picks going. And then the reciprocal of that in Miami would be you do Tua and picks. You have the number 3 pick. And so you have that. And then you would have your quarterback you could stick with and an early pick that you could go get a solid either offensive lineman or if Will Fuller's gone in free agency, wouldn't that be nice to choose between Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, like pick your wide receiver, go get a pass rusher. I know they have plenty of those coming out. Again, O-lineman, like then you would be set and you have your picks that you get back. So you don't look like you lost as much and you can start your rebuild with your young quarterback. But they got to do it before free agency or the draft.
Dante,
Yeah.
where's Watson going?
I say you can't say shit. Cause I don't know, man. I can see Carolina, but why not San Fran? You just go all out.
Not
Just-
enough cap, not enough trade.
You mismatch it with them. Because I think
So it'd be-
because he'd be under his 5th-year option. I think this.
What
year.
would that?
Okay,
so
but
that
they have
deal,
enough cap, but they don't have the picks to do it.
So that deal would look like, but wouldn't you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo than like if you get traded? I guess not. I'd rather have Tua or
Think
Sam
about it.
Darnold.
Tua or
'cause they're
Sam,
younger.
they're
If you trade, you can get away with this. Trade Jimmy G.
Yeah, he'd be in that trade.
They got a first for DeForest Buckner.
They did.
Trade that first. And you probably have to trade away Fred Warner.
Yeah,
I don't. The problem is though is
Fred
Houston
Warner,
wants to
an
start their
all-pro
rebuild.
linebacker.
Why would they go for veteran
young-
talented players?
Fred Warner.
You
Warner
still can get a rebuild.
You can rebuild like
But
that.
could you rebuild better with that than you could with 4 first round picks from Miami or New York?
I'd take the picks. I agree with you. I'd take the picks, but I wouldn't rule San Fran out.
And Houston's
that makes
unpredictable
sense.
in the trade.
Yeah, Houston. One thing we've learned is you can't predict any sort of
Dude,
trade
there's
Houston's
no-
trying to make. And
Arizona stole D-Hop.
But my other one, I think the Bears.
the Bears,
Chicago.
the Bears don't. They offer even less than San Francisco.
Now I've seen there's rumors that Chicago is like the most is offering the most right
And
now.
again,
have to,
he
yeah.
has the no trade
have
clause.
to.
So does Russell Wilson. So it has to be a team he wants.
Yeah.
And the only 3 teams he mentioned were Chicago, New York, and Miami.
He'll go. I'm telling you though, if Carolina puts in the haul, there's no way he says no to Carolina. I don't see.
No, because he has no trade clause. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't make sense for me why he wouldn't go to Carolina because, I mean, he has, like I said, DJ Moore. Oh, I forgot CMC.
Yeah, when he comes back from injury.
For real,
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey. Would he be part of that deal though?
No, there's no way.
No.
You can't. It's that's a
That's like
hometown hero.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no,
It'd be
That's
like
true.
if 4 years ago Houston traded J.J. Watt.
That's true. And then, so look, you got Matt Rule, offensive-minded head coach, new. He's locked up there for 6 years, so he's not going to get
yeah.
fired tomorrow. Shouldn't be, at least, unless he's got bad performance. They've got a new owner,
Yeah,
and he is aggressive. That's what's been said on everywhere. All these reports talk about him aggressively pursuing and him doing all these different things. That he wants his own regime, and it doesn't make sense. Teddy Bridgewater, that he lost them a couple games last year. I look back at that Week 6 game where they played Chicago.
Well, he's a
And
lower
there's gotta
end
be
number
another one
one,
where-
higher end backup.
He's
It depends on the
he's a
team.
perfect bridge quarterback. He is not their franchise. He's not, and he could be a bridge guy for them, but they've got to eventually figure it out.
So the thing is, though, is you have your new coach. So wouldn't you want your new quarterback? I mean, Justin Fields could fall to him. If not,
Yeah.
they have Trey Lance potentially. They get their choice there, or they could trade up. I mean, do you want to go with the big cap hit right there, or do you want to get your young guy and build around him?
I don't know. That's something that
That's
they
what
can
Nagy
figure
did
out.
with Trubisky,
that was a horrible thing though.
trading up to
Yeah,
get
that
him.
don't work.
Okay, he traded up.
They
one
trade
pick,
up one spot because they thought San Francisco was going to take him,
and they weren't.
and they weren't. They wanted Solomon Thomas the entire
Yeah.
time. They fleeced him, 100% fleeced
Who's the next one?
Solomon Thomas.
him. So it looks like we got just a few minutes here. Quick preview: what happens with Sam Darnold?
Washington.
I
Or
think
he's
straight
part of the
Washington,
Houston
too.
trade. It goes either way.
Yeah,
Washington for a second. We might be able to get a standing one first. I could see that. Washington needs a quarterback, or he's part of the Deshaun Watson trade.
I think Washington would be a good one. I think Washington. I don't see. I can't see how Cam does not go to Washington or stay with the Patriots.
He gets re-signed in New England.
I think he gets re-signed in New England. There's just no reason not to. And Belichick said nothing but good things about him.
And everyone talks about him like he's going to be a backup. Well, I mean, he's better than the bottom half of the quarterbacks in the league. I think he's probably like a number 20th ranked if you went.
Everyone looks at his 8 touchdowns this season. He had 8 passing touchdowns.
But look at his running touchdown.
He has, and he has no one around him.
Yeah.
Name any good receiver around
And
him.
what's
Jacoby
the
Myers,
alternative?
That's it. They got
And look
What's the alternative?
exactly
Teddy Bridgewater?
Look what he was
Andy
doing before
Dalton?
COVID.
Andy Dalton? Yeah,
Yeah,
hey guys, Andy
no.
Dalton.
Alex Smith.
Bro,
Like,
the
this is-
Alex Smith could come play for I
Alex
love
Smith is
Alex
a
Smith to death.
Great
but
success story, but
There's not another
It's hard
option.
to justify giving your franchise over to him right now.
And look what he did
Dak
before he
Prescott
got COVID.
goes to New
though.
England.
Like Cam was balling before he got COVID.
Yeah. Dak Prescott goes to New England. Wins it with Belichick.
Belichick would never trade with people.
Brady would lose his mind.
So this is kind of wrapping up our first podcast. We're planning on doing this once or twice a week coming up for the foreseeable future, especially while COVID's happening. So, yeah, anything else you want to say?
Here, we'll finish up with this. Belichick's system or Tom Brady?
I say at the beginning of Tom Brady's career, it was a Belichick system, but once Tom Brady became like a veteran QB, it was
Belichick's
It
a
was
really good
Tom Brady.
system, but Tom Brady made it work. I'm saying Aaron Rodgers in that system
he's
plays really well too. and I think he goes to way more than the one Super Bowl he has. But at the same time, it's like you can't deny Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time.
And he just went down. He went down to Tampa Bay.
Who's better?
Made it happen.
Talent-wise?
Rodgers? You mean Rodgers, who throws the ball away every time he has any sort of presence? And all he does is throw.
Okay, what's wrong with throwing the ball away? You don't.
No. That's not it. Look at his wide receivers. He's had plenty of talent around him.
Okay.
And then he gets to the NFC Championship and throws it away and blames his coach.
He's had talent around him. He's more talented than QB than Rodgers is. But look who his coach is. You want to talk about coaching? If like you said, Belichick. Belichick, as we know, is the greatest head coach of all time. Who was the head coach of the Packers for most of Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, exactly.
Mike McCarthy. Come on now. He never changed his offense once because you know why he got complacent with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had to do all this stuff, man. He had to make all these checks and stuff.
But okay, well, if we're gonna consider that, then I would say Peyton Manning's better than Aaron Rodgers. If we're gonna do
not
talent, really, dude? Not talent-wise?
No.
Peyton Manning's not.
There are some throws that Peyton Manning had a strong arm, but it's not like Aaron Rodgers.
He's better than Aaron Rodgers.
No.
He got his offensive coach. Why? So why did he get thumped by Brady in the NFC Championship?
He didn't get thumped.
He lost.
That was a close game.
He was everyone's favorite to the 6th-seed Buccaneers.
He didn't get thumped.
5-seed Buccaneers.
Let's give him some respect. He didn't get thumped.
Okay, so we'll say that about the last 6 NFC championships.
He got thumped in the last one against San Fran. I didn't give you that.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Garoppolo.
All you give him is Devontae.
I'm not saying he's not. I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback right now in the league as far as quarterback ability, but I don't think he's the best of all time.
Who's a better? Mahomes.
You gotta go. Tom Brady's the best of all time.
He's the best. Okay.
He is the best quarterback of all time.
He's not the best. Peyton Manning is a better QB than him.
Oh.
Peyton Manning is a better QB than him. Peyton Manning just never had.
I'm telling you, man. I'm from Colorado. I hear this argument all the time.
If we're talking,
makes me sick.
If we're talking about
sick, Tom Brady's better. 100%.
Yeah, okay, athletic ability.
Super Bowls, you look at locker room, you look at everything. Peyton Manning, I think Peyton Manning's 2. I think he's number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's awesome. I think he's a great quarterback. He is obviously a Hall of Famer, obviously first about everything. He is the second best quarterback of all time. He's not 1 though.
Like I said,
Tom Brady's 1.
Brady's 3.
I don't think Brady's the most talented. I think he's the best quarterback. Because what you're not factoring in is his ability to walk in and go, this is how it's going to be, and we're going to win. Go.
Exactly.
He just brought Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown just team, and I'm going to take him to the Super Bowl. Let's not do this.
This dude is like everyone was talking about. Oh, the Bucs were 7-9. Oh, the Bucs had I'm pretty sure they had like a top 10 defense last year.
They had a good team, and Todd Bowles is a great defense coordinator.
30 picks. 30 picks because they didn't have their playoff team. Am I wrong? It's not like he took like a trash team to a Super Bowl.
No,
he took an already ready-made team to a Super Bowl. It's that's some bull to me.
Agreed, but are you telling me that if Aaron Rodgers got put on the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow, they're winning the Super Bowl next year? Because that's the same comparison here.
No. You different head. No.
Jerry Jones is still alive. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones
somehow they're gonna mess it up.
You're telling me if you put. Let's see.
Right, we got to wrap this up. We're going a little overtime. We'll make some more of these. Pump these out over the next couple of weeks. Anything else? Nope.
I gotta say this before we go.
I can't believe I just defended Tom Brady. I hate that, man.
Demarcus Lawrence is overpaid.
Could be worse. At least he had more than 1 sack.
All right. See you guys next week.